Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Janelle Kim here with The Experts, and I am with a truly, truly special woman today. Her name is Nina Westbrook. I met her actually at an amazing event, which I think it was only last year, Nina. I feel like I've known you for a really long time.
Oh my
Could that
goodness,
possibly be?
It is true. It's only been a year.
Which is very odd. But this happens when you feel a connection with someone. And I must say that you truly, truly radiate like beauty and strength and just a gentleness, even though you're so powerful, that I want you to know that I really appreciate. You know, I know we both meet a lot of people in life, so it means a lot to be able to let you know that. So I'm very grateful to have Nina Westbrook on today. Before we begin our conversation, I would like to read a bit of her bio so that anyone who may not know about her, which would seem crazy, you will now know. So Nina is a licensed marriage and family therapist, entrepreneur, and advocate. Nina is deeply passionate about erasing the stigma around mental health. She has been featured in the New York Times, Goop, Oprah Daily, BET, Essence, Marie Claire, and Shape, and has shared her expertise on TED, The Jennifer Hudson Show, and The Tamron Hall Show, just to name a few. Okay. Beyond her clinical work, Nina creates opportunities for connection and reflection. She is the co-founder of Nebbi, a wellness app designed for the emotional gray zone, the space between crisis and wellness where most of us live. I cannot wait to discuss this. Incredibly important. Nebbi offers 60-second check-ins using evidence-based tools to support high-functioning individuals in navigating everyday emotional challenges. She is also the creator of the Do Tell Conversation card game designed to spark meaningful discussions on relationships, intimacy, and self-awareness. Additionally, she hosts the Do Tell Relationship podcast and the B'nai Moments of Mindfulness podcast, where she offers evidence-based insights on cultivating happiness, personal growth, and deeper human connections. Her shows have featured thought-provoking and candid conversations with esteemed guests, including Gabrielle Union, Kevin Hart, Tamara Mowry Housley, Jennifer Fisher, Keir Gaines, and so many more. In fact, I have had the honor of having conversations with you, which I was very grateful and loved our conversation. In addition to her professional endeavors, Nina is a dedicated wife and mother of 3, balancing her commitment to family with her mission to support others in their wellness journeys. So beautiful. She also serves on the advisory board of the Russell Westbrook Why Not Foundation, and most recently became a member of the UCLA Resnick Neuropsychiatric Hospital Board. Okay, well, that's just a couple of things, Nina. Pretty amazing.
Thank you. That's really a nice intro. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and have this conversation with you. Listening to all that makes me want to take a nap almost, but...
You know, it's a funny thing because I said that to you, and certainly we're not going to stick on this during our time, but I go back and forth of whether, you know, some people do it beforehand, some people do it right in front, and I enjoy it in this moment in time because it is an interesting thing to hear all the things, but my intention is that you do. Like, even in this moment, it's a moment before we discuss, and I hope that you feel how much you have accomplished. And I know you're just beginning.
Yes,
I know it.
Absolutely.
I get it. Yes.
I totally understand the reasoning behind it.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So one of my favorite things, and we'll jump into, you know, talking about many of the things that we talked about, especially your new app, which is so exciting and really resonates with me because it's quick check-ins, it's effective, it's practical, that, you know how much that means to me. But before we do, I always love to kind of go back in time because it certainly matters a lot to me to understand you as a human being of what shaped you getting to the point that you are today. Like, did you imagine you were going to do all of these things, Nina, in exactly the way that they've come about? I highly doubt it, but please. And you're a Southern California girl, so I love that too.
I'm a Cali girl. So, wow, I could try to keep this really brief, but I had no idea that I would be sitting across from you today and listening to that bio and all the things that I've kind of experienced and gone through in my journey. And I grew up in Southern California, like you said, in the Inland Empire. I have 3 brothers, loving mom and dad, and I had a pretty fun, energetic, exciting, and competitive.
I was going to say you have 3 brothers. And tell me, where are you amongst your brothers as far as like oldest, youngest?
the third child.
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
one younger brother, but what I've learned about this in terms of birth order stuff, which I know you're
Yes.
very probably interested in.
Yes, I'm the first born, so that does a whole bunch of things.
It
Yes.
does, but I think so many things get turned upside down when you're the only girl.
Yes, that's what I was just reflecting upon and hearing you.
Yeah. So my role in the family when it comes to my brothers was definitely more of the responsible one, more of the person that everyone would go to help with, decision making, mitigating fights. I felt like I was the one who helped be an extension of my mom, who worked full time,
Yes.
commuted 2 hours both ways for work every day. She worked
That's
in
a
Los
thing.
Angeles at King Drew Medical Center in their emergency room while it was open, and then she shifted over to the surgery department for cardiology. And so I feel like I've just always been a doer, a go-getter. I've always been motivated, self-motivated,
Love that.
and just thriving to sort of find my place in the world. And I'm definitely someone who got taught very young by both of my parents that I needed to be a hard worker,
Love that.
and I needed to make sure to value family and community and working together. My mom was a single mom, and my dad was, we would go back and forth between living with my mom and living with my dad. So I got to experience what that was like for them. And in that, my brothers and I certainly learned a lot about community and taking care of each other. So it's been a long journey. Everything after that point has kind of been all over the place. But I think the thing that's been really consistent for me is just the change
Yes.
that's happened.
Of course.
And
that's the only consistent.
the only thing that's
Tao. You remember me,
consistent,
Mina.
is the fact that
change.
there's going to be a lot of pivots and a lot
Yes.
of unforeseen circumstances that allow us the opportunity to make some significant changes in our lives. So
Yeah, so beautifully put, and I could not resonate more. And I feel just so compelled, as I know you do, especially at this moment in my life, and I'm sure it will continue, but right now especially, just reminding people of that during a time that feels particularly challenging. We're not going to attach to that too much right now, but during this moment in time in our lives, we are here. And
absolutely
connecting everything you just said, knowing that importance. Even I know that that's exactly what I said when you first sat down, that's something I felt with you immediately. And that's not always the case. I do find personally that I'm able to connect with most human beings because I really appreciate anyone sitting in front of me. But there are some that you just feel that, and that makes complete sense, that you grew up with the things that really stick out, because I know I raised my sons this way. I was raised that way as well, are the values of family, community, and working hard. I always say there is no magic sauce to this.
No.
You have to work hard all the time. Let it be known.
Absolutely. And just having parents who are so hardworking and watching them kind of set that example and model that for us. But at the same time, keeping our needs and what's most important at the forefront, because it's not hard. It's not easy a lot of times when people are separating. My parents divorced when I was only a few years old.
Yes.
So they worked together. They lived close to each other. My mom went back to medical school. We spent most of that time with my dad.
Of course.
And then when she was out, she got a house down the street from my dad. And so we just were able to, the way they were able to work together through raising us, it was really magical. And it was something that I really needed to see, and my brothers really needed to see growing up, because knowing now what I know, and maybe they weren't as friendly as it seemed then, I know that we learned how to put our differences aside and differences in opinions, and work together to achieve a goal and to prioritize what's most important in life.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And that phrase that you just ended with, I think I even shared a bit today, which I don't always do this, but on the importance of prioritizing. Like that is when people ask, how do you balance it all, especially as a woman, of course, as men as well, but a woman who have children, we balance many jobs, own many businesses, want to be part of a community, our wives or, spouses or have a significant other. It is a constant balance. And to myself, one of the ways that I can communicate that and constantly find myself now that I'm reflecting more is you have to always reprioritize all the time. And that's the pivot. That really is.
I love that. Reprioritize.
Yes.
Because your priorities are going to shift.
Yes.
Depending on what stage of life you're in or whatever the circumstances are that are right in front of you that day that seem to be the most immediate and need your attention the most. You're going to have to learn to check in with yourself and figure out what needs to be at the top of your priority list today and next week and a month from now and a year from now. It's a constant reshuffling and determining where our time and energy is best spent.
Absolutely. 100%. And that is, I'm so glad that not surprising, we do this together every time. That's why I'm like, I have all the questions, all the things. Like, oh, forget it. Nina and I are just going to start talking. But it's so important to reprioritize throughout the day, especially with work, especially with young children, especially in relationships. I'm like stressing it again because from the moment I wake up, the truth is, and I'd love to know your kind of daily routine, if you will, Nina, for myself, very short is before I even open my eyes, I do my prayer. It's very important to me. That's where I connect with God, my Father, all the good things around me, and my gratitude. And then I do my at least 15 minutes of movement and breath work, as I know you know. And then I open my phone. So for some people that is, if I hear all the things and I'm so appreciate understanding what works and what doesn't work for people, for myself and where I'm at in this point in life, I find that people appreciate that I say this out loud, but I do. I pick up my phone and I look at my calendar, which is like unbelievable rainbow of colors and all. You can only imagine, right? If I showed you, we'd all feel a little something. But constantly and literally, I will reprioritize that throughout the day. And that is, I think that's just so important. And I heard you just say that. Otherwise, it becomes overwhelming.
It does, and it can.
Yes.
And, we all have the color-coded calendars with all of the activities and we're adding to it still. If we see an hour in between, we're trying to fill in that 1 hour. I think that for me, my day looks like waking up and hopefully my kids are still asleep.
Yes.
So that I can get up and have 15 minutes to myself.
I hear you. I understand this.
Just to
remind everyone how old your kids are, Nina.
Okay, so I have 3 children. My son is 8. He'll be 9 in a couple months. And then my daughters I have twin girls. Yes. They are 7.
Yes.
So my kids wake up early.
Oh, see, maybe I lucked out a little bit or I trained my boys. I don't even know.
No, you are very fortunate.
Okay, I appreciate you.
If
see, another moment of gratitude.
In the bed, because my kids are, as soon as they wake up, it's go time and it's very early. So if I can beat them to waking up, I like to use that time to quietly by myself, just get ready for my day. And I also look at my phone. I look at my phone because I have to check my calendar.
Yes.
Because
let us say it out loud.
It's such a relief for me to not have to think about what I have to do the next day or what I have to do tomorrow.
Yes.
Putting it all down in the calendar helps to get rid of that anxiety that comes along with trying to manage a really busy schedule and wanting to make sure you don't miss anything. And so I check my schedule first thing in the morning and figure out what I'm doing and what type of clothes I need to wear.
Yes. Listen, I am so happy we're saying this because, there's a lot of people out there, and again, there is no judgment. I know you and I are the same. What works, works. But I don't know if there's a lot of people, because I hear it often. I don't hear a lot of people say this, Janelle, Dr. Kim, and we're saying it together, Nina. That is what we do. Our phones are with us. We look at them. Children, and that is a part of how we are able to categorize and reprioritize and take away the overwhelm and anxiety.
But you know what? What we said, we didn't say that we wake up and open our phone to go on social media.
Yes, totally
There's a difference between getting your day organized and planning.
Yes.
In order to relieve the anxiety and stress that comes along with running around and being chaotic.
Right.
Versus entering into the chaos of social media first thing in the morning.
Of course.
So I think that there's truly, I've gone through this phase where I have put my phone down in the morning and decided it's best for me not to open my phone in the way that I feel more refreshed in the morning and kind of tuned out.
Of course.
But then, and I see the value in that, but now I've found a balance of something that is more helpful, which is I can check my calendar, but I don't have to check social media.
Yes. Actually, I must have trained myself seriously in when you say this, because I can't even remember the last time I ever picked up my phone to check social media. And if I did that, I probably would not be out of bed. I have much self-discipline and control. I do, but I want to lean in and be very, very honest about this. But there is something about that where it's not even so much, it's even the interest of seeing, what other amazing people are doing. Oh gosh, and then it goes into, I have to do this, I have to. So that's where, for me, I have to control those things. But you're right.
Absolutely.
I would be stuck in bed if I did that, and probably many days.
Absolutely. I don't even remember how we got there, but the rest of my day entails working and trying to get everything that I can done before my kids step foot back into the house.
Understood. That's something for me as well. And again, this is why I love these conversations, because they are for real. Like, how do we do it? Okay, for real, how do we do this? And there's something important to me too, that inside of me, by the time I get them at 3 p.m., there's a very good chance I'm still having to balance things, work through things, do things. But there is something in the back of my mind that when I get them, like even that moment, I tell them sometimes, I have butterflies pulling up to see you still. My oldest is almost 13 and 8. It's the truth. I get so excited to see them.
We want to hear about their day.
Yes.
And my kids are a little bit younger, and I think this goes for all children. That first 15 to 20 minutes with the kids when you first see them is so important for connection, because you have just spent the entire day apart.
Yes.
And they're looking to release or take off their mask or just feel that connection with you as a parent. And if your attention is divided or you're on your devices at the first thing when they come through the door, they are taking that information and storing it somewhere. And for me, what I want to make sure my kids know and understand is that when they come home, I am excited to see them. We make a big deal about them coming home, and I want to hear all about their day, and I want them to all talk to me at the same time because they're so excited. And I just want to be very present in that time. And then even if I have to work after, I will take that time out to greet them and check on them and who has homework, who's on piano, who's taking a shower, and kind of get that ball rolling before I jump back into my work. That time when they first get home is so important. And then I'm in bedtime routine, schedule soccer practice, dinner.
That's what I'm saying. And then the sports, are you kidding? And now Jackson somehow has sports until 9 at night. He's 8?
I know.
When did this happen?
I know. I'm dealing with the same thing. I know.
There used to be some kind of unspoken rule that at least when they're younger, you can end a little sooner. But apparently that has now gone out the window, or however they say it.
They're getting in the bed at 9 sometimes, which is out of control.
I know. I hear you. But that is such beautiful advice. Exactly. We're going to move into something, like I said before, that gray zone, because I know that this is what this is. I want you to communicate that. But again, I love kind of confirming that's how it gets it absorbed into our mind of how important that greeting time is. That is the meaning of being present and having presence in our life. It it is challenging at times to be present all of the time. I don't even know if that's a thing in every single, I have to reflect on that actually.
Yep.
But finding those moments, those important moments, because I have found myself saying a lot more lately, you never know what tomorrow will bring. You never know, you know, and if we think of it that way, in such a way, every moment becomes so sacred and so precious, especially with, I will say in my experience as well, with our young kids, because already I'm looking and Vince woke up one day and he's taller than me and he's going to be in high school soon. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for real.
You know, I think that what you're saying is so important. And I feel like a lot of times we put a lot of stress on ourselves because we think it's a lot harder or more difficult than what it actually is.
Love that, Nina.
And I feel like if you can set aside 5 to 10 minutes of undivided attention to be present, to make that human contact and listen and let your child kind of guide the conversation, and you guys can like get into all the smells and like just really take in that moment, even for a very short period of time. There's specific times when they come home from school, before they go to bed, and when they first wake up in the morning. If you can find time somewhere within then and your busy schedule to do those things with your kids, it has a truly significant impact.
Absolutely. And I would say, of course, our kids come first. I know us almost probably, and I would imagine every single parent would feel that way. But I also want to say, or furthermore, not but, that it really is a nourishing period. I'll speak for myself, but I know it's the same for you, for myself. Like when we are moving so much, when we do have to, I say I do care. I care about myself because I care about myself. I want to practice what I preach. I want to be around and healthy and vibrant for the people that I love for as long as I possibly can. And those are the moments of nourishment that I do for myself. And a lot of them are exactly what you just said. When I wake up in the morning, I don't care. I tell them, I don't care if you are 72, we will be hugging. And that is just vital, like vital to me. And when they come home from school and when they go to bed at night, those are literally the 3 times in our life too that absolutely means something to them, but to myself as well. You know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay, gray zone. So that is very related, I would go so far as to say, to this. So please tell me.
Absolutely. I think what we are talking about when we're referring to the emotional gray zone is this idea that we are all living these very complicated, complex, fast-paced, busy lives. A lot of us, some of us are living on farms and in quiet places, and it's probably quite refreshing.
I know, we're like, ah.
But for most of us, even within that, we're raising children, we're working, we have careers, we're taking care of aging parents.
Yes, that's a huge one.
Trying to show up for within our friendships and for our communities. And we are often running on empty.
Yes.
We are often over-scheduled and under-rested.
Yes.
And I think that what happens when we're operating constantly in that type of environment or in that type of space, we start to go into autopilot. And autopilot is that emotional gray zone where we're not really thinking too much about being present.
Right.
We're not thinking about the things that are going to add to our emotional wellness. We're only thinking about the things that bring us anxiety. We're only thinking about the things that we need to do next. And we're only thinking about trying to figure out how to check things off of our list, our calendar, and get rid of some of those tabs and on our computer screens. But nobody is really putting that much intention into the small moments that we were just talking about.
Yes.
And like I said, those small moments, they have a really significant impact, especially when you do them over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
If you can make these small moments something that you build into your daily routine, those small moments helped you to build habits that will change the trajectory of and quality
Yes.
of your emotional and social mental wellness. And so that's what we mean when we're talking about living in the emotional gray zone. So many of us are living, we're not in crisis, but we're not really thriving either.
Right.
We're kind of maintaining. We're surviving a lot of times. At least it feels that way. So taking time to step outside of that so that we can really replenish and reset is how we climb out of that emotional gray zone.
Beyond. And once again, another reason I know we always resonate. That's why I love just that whole everything you just shared. Clearly, we speak the same language. It's always rooted. We talked about that together on your podcast, but
Yes.
it's called, I would call that living meditation, if you haven't heard, right? And certainly we're not going to sit here and go over all the details of that right now, but it's exactly what you just said. Living meditation is constantly checking in, taking those little moments. I want to talk about your app in a second. I could not resonate more with that and agree and align in the sense of the practices that I teach that have been passed down in my lineage for thousands upon thousands of years, mine 9 generations, but that's how far back this medicine goes.
Wow.
And the medicine is in, let's not forget, the mindset, the movement, and the medicine, the 3 M's. Like taking 10 minutes, 5 minutes, seriously, 3 minutes to just calm your mind for a second, take a breath. Your 60 seconds, I want you to share, please, a little bit or a lot of bit about your app and how you came about that and what that does, because those are the moments.
Yes. Okay. So really quickly, Nebbi is a continuation of my online mental wellness platform, B'nai by Nina. And essentially what I learned is that I don't want to have a niche market of people that I can serve and help provide mental health resources and tools to. My goal with Nebbi was to be able to build something that is scalable and accessible to everyone. So Nebbi is a personalized mental health and wellness app that helps you find that moment to check in with yourself. And not only are we providing that space, we are offering the opportunity to complete micro tasks that are based in CBT that will help you to improve your mood for the day. And what I really love and appreciate about our app is that it really gives you this sense of emotional self-efficacy and helps you to build and grow that, because there's so much education built into the app. Because when we are emotionally well and when we are thinking and using our mind to kind of sift through all the things that we're going through, there's a lot of power in that. And so I think that the app is a really great avenue for helping to create those small daily check-ins for people looking to improve their mental wellness.
That's so amazing and so exciting, and everyone truly needs to check this out. And everybody knows me. I wouldn't say that if I didn't actually feel that under any circumstance. It's the training of the mind. Now, I know that you come from a family and you're part of a family that, being athletic is huge.
And mental fitness.
There you go. That's exactly. It is. We know how important it is. I can't imagine anyone who doesn't know how important it is to train our bodies, whether we choose to or not. That's another story. But how important it is to train our mind. That's why mindset.
You can never be elite. You can never be elite.
Yes. You
can never be the GOAT if you don't add the mental fitness to the physical fitness.
I love that, Nina. That's like our tagline. And you hear that, Vincent Jackson? They know. Believe me, I tell them every single moment of the day.
Yes, the two go hand in hand.
Yes.
We can't be our best as individuals and as people if we aren't tending to our emotional and mental fitness.
Yes, and constantly checking in. I know that's something you say as well, that self-awareness. I mean, in the 8 keys of living meditation, which is the mindset pillar, the first key is know your true self, which is never ending. You just said it.
And we are not really... So many of us are ignoring that part of us.
Yes.
If you ask someone in passing in our busy day how they're doing, how they're feeling, what are the odds that they're actually going to think about how they are genuinely feeling and give you the answer to that?
Right.
To me, they're very low. typically it's going to be, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay, a little tired, a little busy. But what's going on beneath that?
Right.
Like if we could take it one step further and really getting in tune and reflecting on that.
Yes. So important. And it's a lifelong journey as well. I do think it's so important to not have certain expectations of ourselves, right? Or what it is that we're looking for, because it is constantly that process and that journey. So you have to train our minds to do check-ins and find the practices that resonate, whether it's through the Nebbi app, and it doesn't have to be doing movement throughout the day, reading some incredible, I won't really read too much at this point in my life. I think it's beautiful when people do, but part of my practice is I really do. I kind of absorb things around me that I know are really important for that nourishment in my life right now. Even watching movies. It sounds so funny, but I do not watch scary movies. It's like the one thing that you'll see will put me in an off mood. Like,
Absolutely.
I think I'm pretty consistent.
I think that is a really great self-awareness, and what works for one person doesn't necessarily always work for the next person.
Yes.
So figuring out what works for you, that's the goal.
Yes.
Right? And
absolutely.
Continuing to do more of that.
And so I do want to ask you, which I didn't necessarily expect to or think of asking you, but it's been coming up a lot for myself. So I've been married for 20 years now, or together with Craig for 20 years, married almost 20. We work together, do all the things. You have been with Russell for 20 years, yes? Am I understand, or around that?
Yeah,
I mean,
close.
a long time.
I think we're maybe 19 years
now.
now.
Well, you're not 20 yet, so never mind the question.
In August, joking. I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't it funny when that happens? You're like, I think.
I know.
Actually, Craig's one is like, we've been together for. I was like, oh, sorry.
We just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary last summer.
Okay. And how do you, so this is the question that comes up often, and I am definitely leading in because it is important to reflect, and for all the reasons. How do you think, or what do you think, what do you feel about how you both have been able to balance throughout the years having the schedules that you do, having children? I know this is a serious question. I am sorry, Nina.
It's a stressful question. I'm just thinking about all the things.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like we are really great at dividing and conquering. And we feel really strong about our individual abilities to do the things that we need to do. We also are really great with delegating and taking some things off of our plate. And sometimes I have more capacity to take on more. And sometimes my husband has capacity to take on more. I don't think that there's an even split of dividing things down the middle. I don't think our relationship has actually ever been that way.
I love
it's
that.
really who has the capacity to take on what.
And that truly is the yin and yang, if I may. I don't even want to, but like I'm seeing it. That is the yin and yang. There's not just one cut. It's constantly shifting. That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Absolutely. And I think we both understand that, and we both have been really open to adapting and making adjustments, and reprioritizing is something that we've constantly had to do, even as a couple.
Absolutely.
Now it kind of stays consistent with the kids because they kind of are always a priority for the most part. So everything after that gets shuffled around quite often, and it's a work in progress. It's always a lot of work, and figuring out that something might work at this period or point in your life, and then realizing later this is no longer working, and so we need to make some adjustments so that we can make it work for this period of time in our lives.
Absolutely.
And so just being open and willing to change and grow, that's the key to managing so much.
I could not agree more. That flexibility.
Yeah, you gotta
like
be flexible. You gotta be flexible.
Anchored in what's important, and you have to be flexible.
What I've been hearing more and more, which is, it's kind of exciting to me, is a lot of conversation around technology and AI. And I don't want to go backwards, but I think it's so relevant.
Let's do this together. We'll have more conversations.
Yeah, I think it's so relevant. The art of being human and is becoming so much more prevalent
Yes.
over time, because no matter what happens in the future, the emotional abilities and capabilities that we have and the way we connect with each other and our need as humans to be within community and
Yes.
have relationships is not going to change.
No, ever.
The
I would
thing
say,
that makes us who we are is always going to be our community, the people we allow into our lives,
Yes.
the families we're born into,
Yes.
and how we navigate those human connections are always going to be at the forefront. So it's nice to hear some of that being reiterated by a lot of these tech giants and who are like,
You're so funny. I wish I could remember right now. There's something that Craig showed all of us, which he doesn't always, like the boys and I, and I loved it. And it was oh my gosh, we're gonna have to like do a rain check on this because it's very important.
It is. The
do you like that I'm bringing this up and I don't even remember who it is?
No,
the huge
overall
mogul
consensus.
Of AI.
Yeah, the
And that's what he
overall
said.
consensus from that space is that if I was raising a child or I have a child,
Right.
and what I am doing with my child is making sure that they are well-rounded and they are not using the technology.
Right.
They are learning all the human skills possible and learning emotional and mental wellness so
Yes.
that they can have the flexibility and ability to adapt to whatever is to come next.
Absolutely. And let that be part of, the universe. God, is very interesting in that way and with all the faith, but that has crossed my mind before. This is definitely another conversation to be had. We cannot do it right now. But there's something about the fact that this is a part of our lives now. Let's call it AI, that aspect, right? That the yin and the yang of the things, that it will make us, some of us, no matter what, everyone will feel it. But at that point, it is kind of reaching, I don't want to say an extreme, but it's an extreme for us in our lifetime.
Yes, it is.
Literally, we were around. You were as well, Nina. I'm pretty certain.
There were no cell phones.
There were no cell phones.
There were pagers.
And we played like the green letter
Tetris?
on that. Yes, Tetris. Oh, that's advanced. I'm talking about like literally just the alphabet game where the letter would fall and you'd hit it. Or what is that? The Pilgrim?
I don't remember.
Oregon Trail. Maybe
Oregon
Trail. Yes. Okay, you do know this. I think you're younger
Trail.
than me, Nina.
Yes.
So, and now here we are. Point being, now this is happening. And so there's something to it. I will put in the universe that there will become more that is balance. I always say I don't know when things occur. I certainly don't have the answer of when something seems like it's very extreme. Has it reached its extreme? Because the way the Tao, the balance works is that once it actually reaches an extreme, it will rebalance. Period. Where there's an up, there's a down, right? That's literally how it works. But there is something to this that we are becoming more aware, many of us, of that connection. Some of us, that is a part of our daily life, but it's there. And hopefully it is making people just see it more. What you do with that is a different thing.
Well, hopefully we are preparing to be ready.
Yes, I know.
For that.
This is the
emotionally,
truth.
Mentally, because that's all we can do.
Yes, that is true. And here we are.
It's what we can control.
Yes, because we cannot control anything but our own response or reaction. And reactions are, the way that I define it, the way that I train my mind. I know we've talked about this before. Reactions are the emotional. That is the chaos. It's very normal to have emotions and reactions to things. But when we are able to be aware and to keep them in check and to do the practices and find the things where we have moments of regrounding and resetting, rebalancing throughout our lives, that is how we can balance with anything that comes our way.
Absolutely.
We're human. We're actually incredibly powerful. That's the truth. And now, of course, we've run out of time. This always happens.
This was fun.
It was really fun. I knew it, too. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get through any of these questions, but I'm pretty certain.
I was going to say, did you know what the conversation was going to be
about? You want to know the truth?
truth?
I truly live by the Tao. And the older I get and the more experience I get, the more and more people are like, wow, Janelle, this is a whole thing. But it is. I lean in, especially when it's people I really connect with, because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for what you shared today. The example that you are leading, that's one of the things that matters the most to me in life. One of my wishes is that not only do we anyone, not just us, but ourselves included, go out and teach things, but how beautiful to be examples of those things. And that's the real, that's the authentic. It's not always easy, but how do we do it? And we are connected, especially as women. Sorry, I'm a woman's woman. Women and men, but it's true. There's something to it. So really grateful for you, Mina. Please tell everyone, you have so many things. We didn't even talk about the Why Not Foundation, which I saw you and Russell, so beautiful how you both are. I have had moments. And then what you put into that. So please.
Well, I would say right now I'm very focused on my wellness app, Nebbi.
Yes.
We talked about it a little bit today,
Yes.
but you can follow Nebbi at getnebbi or at getnebbi. That's our handle on everything. And then visit our website, The Nebbi Way.
Beautiful. And that will be in the links and all over. We'll tag all the things.
Links, so check it out.
You must.
Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. It's wonderful.
The feeling is very mutual. I'm grateful.
Thanks.